Good evening, all. Very happy to meet you all through a Facebook Live. Today's my discussion would be on COVID. Uh, we see what is the need for probably of for past 2 or 3 months. There is a lot of information in all the platforms regarding COVID is there. Then what is the special need now? See, in today we have crossed more than 2 lakhs of patients in all over India with COVID infection, and especially in Tamil Nadu we have crossed about 25,000, and in Chennai yesterday we have marked about 1,000 cases. So the number of cases are increasing day by day, and now the government has planned for a unlock strategy from a lockdown strategy. So everybody should know how to move about with this and how to take care of themselves. For example, what diabetic patients and hypertensive patients should do to come back to normalcy. So we will try to seek answers for them in the next 5-10 minutes. Basically, everybody's mind, the first thing comes into everybody's mind is whether am I at risk? Am I at risk of infection? The question is very simple. What does the data says? The data from all over the globe is very clear. One thing is very clear. That is the patients with higher age, that is above 65 years or 70 years, they are more at the risk of infection than the population which is less than 40 years. So this is a very clear-cut data available from almost every part of the world. Next, I am a diabetic patient. Whether I am at risk of infection, whether my complication rates are higher. This is the commonest question is being asked everywhere. So one thing is very clear from the data from world is that the patients who are contracting infections, those who have had comorbidities like diabetes, hypertension or heart disease are more at risk than at the normal patients to develop complications. So to put that answer to the question, whether the diabetic patients are at increased risk, no. They are at the similar risk like anybody else in the population. But once they acquire the infection, the risk of them to develop a complication is very high. That's what we say. These people are at higher risk. Even the mortality rate among the general population and the population who had diabetes, hypertension or coronary artery disease is much higher. So the patients who have disease like diabetes or hypertension or a cancer or being a smoker or a lung condition involving medications, nebulizers, these patients are at higher risk than at normal patients. So they have to be very careful. Even now during this unlock period, these patients are better to be at home rather than moving out. Once their immunity is challenged, the chance for them to acquire infection and acquire complications is much higher than the normal population. This is point number one. Point number two, I am a diabetic patient. What should I do? See, whether I should monitor my blood glucose regularly at home? Yes. The best way to treat diabetes at present is to monitor your glucose at home regularly. What should the value I should look for? If you are measuring your glucose level during fasting, it should be less than or between the range between 90 to 125, that is well and good. If you are measuring after 2 hours after your breakfast or lunch or dinner, then the expected value should be between 140 to 180 milligram per deciliter. Any plus 5, minus 5, plus 10, minus 10, that is okay. If there is any significant increase more than this, then that requires a medical attention. So what I always tell my patients is at least monitor your blood glucose 4 to 5 times in a week and note down in a piece of paper. When you go and approach a doctor for a teleconsultation, you can share these details with him about your sugar levels so that if required, they can do a change. Next question, my frequently asked question is whether I have to change my diabetic medications during this period. The answer is simply no. If you have a diabetic medication and you have been taking for a long time and your sugars are as controlled as I told you, then you need not change your diabetic medications at presently. But if you check your blood sugars at home with a glucometer and you find your blood glucose values are altering very frequently, then you might require a change in medication. For example, the patient who had only oral diabetic drugs might need some amount of insulin to control the surge, or if you are already on insulin, you might need some kind of titration. Why monitoring becomes essential? Suppose when you have an infection or a fever, a sore throat, or a mild cough, these times the monitoring should be much higher than the normal rate. For example, if you have to monitor at least twice or thrice in a day. When you are having an infection, your counter-regulatory mechanisms produce adrenaline, steroids. This increase your hormones produced, increase your sugar levels much higher than your normal. So you start to getting higher sugar values because of infection by itself. When the values are skyrocketing like 500 plus, 400 plus, then you need a medical attention because you can land up in a condition called diabetic ketoacidosis, which might require an admission or a IV fluid supplementation or a medical care. So whenever you are having any of these symptoms like a flu-like symptoms, your monitoring of blood glucose should be frequently than the regular time. Now the next question comes. Sir, I am monitoring my blood glucose levels or much under control. Anything else I should do? The next thing the diabetic patient should do is you have to start walking. If you are not able to go to the parks or a gym to do your exercise, you can use your terrace, staircase and walk. Diabetic patients are expected to walk or do exercise at least 40 minutes to 1 hour per day over at least 5 to 6 days in a week. So I will advise during this lockdown period when you are inside, probably don't sit ideally for 1 hour together. Start walking, take a break, walk for 5 minutes, then come back, then do your walk. This will be very effective in maintaining your sugar levels. Next question is commonly asked is, I am a hypertensive patient. Whether I can continue my hypertensive drugs. There are a lot of speculation that few hypertensive drugs has to be stopped during this COVID. What is your suggestion, doctor? According to us, there is no clear-cut data to stop any of these drugs. And we have found that stopping this drug might cause more worse than benefit. So do not stop ACE inhibitor or ARBs if you have been prescribed by your physician. Continue the same medication. There is no indications to stop this medication for any reason. So hypertensive patients, be on your drugs regularly. The next question is being asked, I am a cardiac patient. What should I do? If you are a cardiac patient, take your medications regularly. Never change your drugs, pills unless advised by your doctor. If you are on antiplatelets, please continue them. If you are on statins, please continue them. Don't stop these medications without your doctor advice. Fluids, as per your doctor's advice, depending upon your heart pumping or your kidney status, take your fluids accordingly. In a normal patients who don't have any cardiac failure or a kidney failure, they are very normal patients, they are only diabetic, then these hypertensives, then these patients are advised to take a lot of fluids, keep yourself hydrated, because most of the viral infection, the hydration is the main point of treatment care. So keep yourself hydrated. Then comes the question, what about other parameters which affects my health? Stress is a major problem with any form of diabetes getting worsening. So when you are angry, when you are stressed, your levels go up, counter-regulatory hormones comes into place, your hormonal levels goes up, and your sugar levels shoots up. So don't get panic, don't get stressed yourself. Be relaxed during this period. Keep yourself engaged by reading books, or watching, hearing music, or watching TV. Keep yourself engaged by talking to your friends or relatives over phone. Keep your stress levels little less. That will help you to desensitize from this condition. Then comes question, what about sleep? Sleep is very, very important for diabetic, hypertensive or a cardiac patient. what we should do is it's better if you are diabetic or a hypertensive, at least minimum 8 hours of sleep is very essential during this period. Nowadays, we have a bad habit of binge watching TVs till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. We miss our sleep regularity and pattern, and a lot of patients have this problem currently. So I advise that diabetic patients must to go to their regular schedules, because they will start skipping their medications, which will have a bad impact on their health. So minimum 8 hours of sleep at a structured time is always better and good for the patients. Next question arises. I'm a diabetic. What else I should do at home? So now comes the question. See, two things can happen. Either you can get a fever, cough, cold, or mild headache. That condition, you take your medication like paracetamol. You advise your family doctor, whatever he advises, you do. If he advises for a COVID test, get it done. That is the next part. But if you are at home, try to avoid meeting other people or interacting with others, and isolate yourself if you have an infection, though it doesn't spread to other people. This is one point. For example, now you are at a home where your grandchildren develops an infection, for example, cold, cough, or anything. Then make sure that you don't interact with them during those period of infection, because for them it can be a very milder symptom. For you, it can be a major symptom. So try to avoid people who have infection very close to it. Next thing comes, what are the things I should do to prevent me incurring COVID? Common three things I will always insist my patient is, first thing I will say, you need if you are an elderly patient, a lot of people are asking whether supplements can help. Yes, supplements can help to a certain extent, but they will not prevent you from getting from the infection. So what are the supplements I can take? You can take probably elderly patients can take vitamin D supplementation if your vitamin D levels are less. Vitamin C, zinc, arsenic. These are the supplements which are proved to be effective in patients with COVID. So a general supplement which is available in the market is sufficient enough to provide all these vitamins and minerals, nutrients to you. So anything which is available, you can take them as additional to your daily required medications. That might help you to provide an immunity booster. They can act as an immune booster. Second thing is, what should I do? Avoid going out to larger gatherings, public vehicles, where you can contract infection. If you are a diabetic, hypertensive, or cardiac patient, you avoid unnecessary traveling. In case traveling is necessary, then wear a mask and wash regularly with soap and a clean water, at least for 20 seconds. That will avoid you getting an infection from the main source of infection being a droplet or the fomite. So you wash your hands regularly. In case you don't have a clean water or a soap, then use a sanitizer, which is hand sanitizer, which has an alcohol more than 60% alcohol. That is indicated when you are not availability of, there is no availability of on the go, then there is no availability of clean water or soap, you can use your hand sanitizers. Then comes the third point. When you are going out to a crowded places or a workplace or anywhere, then try to wear mask. Now we can use you need not have a surgical mask or N95 mask. You can use a ordinary cloth mask or mask made at home or a kerchief to cover your face and nose. Thereby you are not only preventing infection acquiring by you, but also you are preventing by not giving to the others. And when you are in a common place, if you want to sneeze or cough, use your tissue paper. After sneezing or coughing, then dispose that tissue paper inside a closed dustbin. In case you are not having a tissue paper with you, use your arm like this against your face and cough or sneeze, so that that infection droplets does not spread to other people. By this way, we will prevent that spread to other people. We are worried with COVID not because of its fatality rate, but because of its spread. The rate of spread is very high with COVID. That's why we are finding day to day like a lot of patients turning out to be positive. So what I would advise is that if you are a diabetic patient or a heart patient or a COPD patient or a hypertensive patient, take all your medications regularly. Stick on to three things. I always tell it as SMS. Whenever you are having a touch with any other external surface like railing or elevator button or a taxi or a staircase, anywhere, you come back, use your soap and clean your hands. Whenever you are going to a crowded place, cover your face with a mask, even a cloth mask. Whenever you are outside your house, always maintain a social distance. Always keep this in mind, this SMS as your theme for next probably another 1 year or so. We don't have a effective medication or a cure vaccination available currently. Every country is providing their own protocol for treatment. India has a robust evidence for treatment with multiple drugs, so you need not worry about the medication part. We ourselves, doctors, will take care of that. Just follow this mantra, SMS, wash your hands, wear a mask in your face, and maintain a social distance. You can avoid spreading COVID to another person. Similarly, you can prevent being getting infected. Thank you all for listening to this talk. Very, very happy to be sharing my views with you. Thank you.